Alright, Batuhan is going to open this game, and if we have learned something from previous YCS coverages, it's that the first turns of Blackwing can be crazy if uninterrupted.
Oh, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this. He's the master of Blackwings. You could tell he's already using the Blackwing Dragon Sleeves. There's a small world to basically get him into any line of play that he likes. So let's see which one he chooses. And Batuhan lately has been a little bit unfortunate because, for example, he traveled all the way over to YCS Vancouver not too long ago, started off with a strong 7-0 start and then managed to lose 3 in a row to just miss out on top cut. So he really keeps on trying with his Blackwings, and maybe this event is the event again with a super promising 5-0 start here.
You know, actually, back then I made a big mistake because I actually told him, hey, if you win a YCS with Blackwing, you can get my Starlight Rare Blackwing Dragon. You can just have it, and now he's coming dangerously close.
I mean, I think he just has more motivation because of that. Since then, he wants to win it even more.
He's very committed. I love the fact he's so committed to the Blackwing brand as well, that he's got the sleeves on his main deck.
Absolutely, it's great.
I feel like if I was playing a very rogue deck, I wouldn't I wouldn't put it on my card sleeves and let everybody know.
He just commits, like, there's no way back for him. He's going to play Blackwings for forever, or at least until he tops the event that he desires to. And now we have added Blackwing Sudri, first of all. And Sudri has already led out to the good old Shamal there. And then Shamal is going to activate the Black Feather Wildwind here, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. And of course, Ruben is going to read up on those cards. And he's going to be the one with the rogue deck that does not get to play first. And there's a new addition to the deck of Batuhan. We did not see that lately, but now he's on the good old Assault Synchron. And I really like that addition. It gives him even more ways to Synchro Summon. And the Blackwing deck already has so many ways to Synchro Summon, so it's great.
Yeah, Assault Synchron's got to be such a great addition to any Synchro-based strategy, especially one that wants to summon dark monsters. You just special summon it from your hand. I mean, that's already a straight up very powerful effect. And then as another effect, you'll be able to banish it from your graveyard later to summon a
I love
dragon.
how Blackwing is super rogue and barely anyone knows the combos, but this coverage team is now really experienced because of Batuhan.
Totally, he's teaching us all. All of us have become Blackwings and Joyers. And it's interesting that he decided to play the Assault Synchron, because honestly, it's like the Synchron that wasn't as popular lately, because obviously Revolution Synchron was released just recently, but he found his way to the card from the Battle of Legends Monstrous Revenge there with the Assault Synchron instead. I mean, it just fits better. He wants to go for Synchro Sixers, and he has like a lot of level 4 monsters together with the Assault Synchron that easily gives him access to, for example, the level 6 monster that he just has there on the field, which is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, which one is this?
Was Nothong.
Nothong, right? Yeah, that's Nothong.
And there we also have my favorite birdie. Look at how cool this thing is.
The gangster is back.
Vata.
Blackwing Vata. He really looks cool. So, Ruben also, in the meantime, already got burned for 800 through the effect of Nothong there, so his life points are down to 7,200. And Batuhan himself also brought him down to 6,600 already.
Well, which was the effect that made Batuhan pay life points?
There are multiple ones, I think, that are doing that. I think Assault Synchron, first of all, definitely lets you pay life points. And then there must be another one. I think it might be Shamal. I'm not 100% sold though. But there is a Baron de Fleur, which I totally know. So we can keep on talking about the cards I 100% certainly know.
Oh, we have a Zephyrus. That's another 400 life points right there.
I'm really amazed as to how this deck developed, because when we saw him earlier in last season, the deck was going for pretty much only Blackwing cards.
Yeah.
No generic answers to anything, but now the first thing that happens is a Baron de Fleur. This plays around Nibiru, this plays around everything.
It's great. It's superb. And honestly, Leo, I don't know whether he even needs your Blackwing Dragon in Starlight Rare. He has a pretty beautiful Ghost Rare version of the card right there, so I think he's happy with it.
That is absolutely true. And now this is Borea, if I am not completely mistaken.
Borea Storm, probably, but
Borea
yes,
Storm, yeah.
That's absolutely it. And Ruben is just carefully reading all of this, and he makes himself ready to also make Batuhan probably read some cards later on. The thing is with Ruben's deck, he is playing quite a bit of engine, and then also some very interesting going first cards. But going second-wise, his main deck is not super well equipped, because there's Impermanence, there's Ash Blossom, but I think both of those we would have seen already by now. But besides that, there's not too much, honestly.
Basti, there's also a Disparta right now. Do you mind, you have access to the deck list. Is there a possibility to go for a Kali Yuga here?
Let me double check.
Or did he cut it? Because there has to be some space in the extra deck.
There's exclusively Synchro monsters in the extra deck of Batuhan here.
This
is now a pure Synchro deck. You're right. We also had like Link monsters in there before. We had Dragoon in there. So Batuhan really is trying out all different versions of the Blackwing deck. And maybe he now has finally found the version which will net him a YCS top here in Dortmund.
Are there any Blackwing effects which lock you into a particular type, maybe only Synchro summoning?
I don't think so, honestly, because I mean we've seen him doing all the different things, and I don't think there was a way. But look at that! That is now what we have set up. Is Ruben going to be able to go through all of this? It is looking very strong. I think the thing standing out there is double Blackwinged Assault Dragon, which was just casually added onto a field there.
Oh, and now something you can see something that has always happened when I played Virtual World. This deck is really inconsistent.
I think maybe this is a bluff. You know how players often will just, you know, sometimes, maybe not often, but you will, if you don't think you can win the first game, you don't want to let your opponent just show what you're playing just for fun.
It's such a bait. He's making Batuhan think this is Labyrinth or something.
If you set 5, then your opponent's going to think, hey, this is probably a Labyrinth deck.
Totally.
So if he wins the game before seeing any of Ruben's cards, then maybe that's the strategy here, which is a very, like, mind-gaming strategy. I love it.
I love it too, for sure. So Batuhan now in the end phase activated and resolved Blackwing Twin Shadow. That brought him access to the Blackwing Full Armor Master now there on the field as well. So we finally have more Blackwing monsters than non-Blackwing monsters on the field, and there's even another one. There's now the Borea Storm coming back too.
Basti, you were talking about the Full Armor Master before we were going live.
Yes.
So can you elaborate why this card is really crazy right now?
It's crazy because it is, of course, still unaffected by other card effects. And when you expect Unchained to be the most popular deck, they usually only have one Ray really around this, with is the Underworld Goddess. But this deck can easily put up 2 of the Full Armor Masters, and therefore then after the first one there is no real out to that anymore, and now there's skill drain. So Batuhan is even more convinced this has to be Labyrinth.
I love that. That's
right?
really funny. He's just fully committing to this mind game by putting, maybe that's what the skill drain is in his deck for you.
But I mean, I'm also like super confused. Why is there skill drain in Virtual World? I actually don't really get it.
I mean, the good effects happen in the hand, right?
Yeah, you can build up your field, sure, but after you build up your field, you have monsters that want to negate or interact with your opponent, so why do you have skill drain? But for now, Batuhan and his Blackwings are going to take down this game number 1. Therefore, Blackwings still flying high and maybe flying to another victory here.
Honestly, this was like, I know this was a very cool Blackwing combo, but the mind game we just saw there was like top tier. I've not seen anything like that. It's just a complete like bluff, because that's not at all what his deck was about, and he's just gone ahead and sold him a good story.
I mean, it partly kind of is about it when you are playing skill in the main deck, right? Like somehow he has decided to bring this, and it's kind of weird. It actually kind of reminds me of myself, because with the YCS, remote YCS I played There Can Be Only One in the main deck of my Virtual World deck, so he's kind of taking the same approach, just with a even more powerful trap card, I guess.
I mean, it depends on the format. Right now, I think I would also rather opt for There Can Be Only One. The card is absolutely insane right now. Which deck can just flawlessly play through it? I mean, Virtual World can't really. Blackwing for sure can't.
No, it cannot. Yeah.
I mean, Virtual World isn't really hindered by it that much. But we have Unchained, which has problems.
Yeah.
Fluwanderies has problems. Telemans is fine.
Yeah,
and I think Dragons.
Rescuers, so they have warriors and machines, right? So
True.
But like, it might be okay.
One thing now, though, because Batuhan has decided to now go with the full synchro approach, one side deck card of Ruben is coming in handy, and it's Dimensional Barrier. Yeah. We have not seen that too much this weekend so far, but he is siding triple copies of the card. And I mean, if there's only synchro monsters in the extra deck, calling synchros is just brutal.
I mean, back when I played Blackwing in 2011 versus a plant deck. I didn't need my extra deck. You know, I had Sirocco, I had the Bora, and I had multiple Kalutes, and then I would just run over Dandelion tokens.
Cool story,
would
but
you really have wanted a dimensional barrier? I thought that was where you were going to go with this. I thought you were going to say,
no, this was a nonsense story.
You were just like, I love Blackwings, go Blackwings.
Yeah. Back then, you probably could play around D-barrier better than today. I mean, there was no dimensional barrier, but I think 10 years ago, 12 years ago,
oh, it's so long ago.
12 years ago, the card wouldn't have been that good.
Yeah, probably not, because there was not that much extra stuff happening at all. That's true. But now looking at the side deck of Batuhan, we see a lot of very impactful cards and also a lot of cards that are good going second. So I've seen a lot of lists that kind of had plenty of going first cards, and this one is really mostly orientated towards going second. Drone Lockbird, evenly matched, Feather Duster, Impermanence, Lightning Storm. Do you just blindly throw in the Drone Lockbirds here versus the deck at set 5? I don't think so, right?
No shot, yeah. No shot are you sliding those in against what you think is a Labyrinth deck.
Funnily enough, it would be good versus Witcher World to bring it in, but that is not going to happen. But what is going to happen is, of course, game number 2. Players are ready as we are, so let's get right back into the action.
How good is Lockbird really versus Virtual? Because if you're starting with the City Kowloon and you set up your Tcg and you activate Lulu right from the beginning, there's not really that many searches you are denying. Maybe the one from Xinglong?
Yeah, the Xinglong Surge. Also, it plays around Desires, kinda. So it does some stuff, but not massively. So let's see. Batuhan now will phase probably just there the first Witcher World card, and Batuhan, he didn't even blink.
I want to see, yeah, there was not much of a reaction. He's got a sort of mild like...
He totally expected this. He wasn't even surprised. Of course, Witcher World, round number 6, we're both undefeated. Blackwings and Witcher World, of course.
Virtual World always sets 5 and one of them is skill drain.
Yes.
Imagine Batuhan going, who plays that now?
Bro, why did you bring this deck to a YCS?
So non-meta.
Clearly, Blackwing is the pick.
So we got our hands on the best Virtual World monster in the main deck, which is of course the Lulu, and Lulu is going to send one Xinglong to the graveyard, and now... Oh no, wait, that was
Shanwu.
The one before already, and now we send the Shanwu to search ourselves the Kowloon, and Kowloon of course will now grant us access to Witcher World Gate Tcg when we activate it. But I'm really curious on how Witcher World has developed, because to be honest, I have not paid that close attention to the deck recently, even though I have very, very much like very powerful feelings for the deck. But recently I've been like kind of separating with it, so I'm very excited to see what Ruben has been doing with it here.
You've been really hyped for Plunder Patrol recently, so
True.
I absolutely understand why you wouldn't play so much Virtual World.
It takes a lot of attention, honestly.
So do we still go for... We go for Coral Drake. This still looks like Ultimaya Zolkin.
He is playing Zolkin, yeah.
But we go for the
oh, that's just Chen-Chen, right? Yep. There it is. And I mean, that's still very much a powerful card. Drawing one of the Coral Dragon there.
Adding the Lulu in the end phase because we used the Juju. Oh, and now we have the Kowloon.
Yep, but it's going to lead to the powerful trap card Tcg. And also, that now secured that we have 2 banished Witcher World cards, 2 different ones even, so the Tcg is even live. I like that, but what else is there? Is that going to be all we have? Oh, okay, we're not done yet. There is Lalo, and Lalo, of course, is going to lead to another Synchro Summon, or potentially an Exceed Summon even. Because Ruben did not limit himself to just one type of extra deck mechanic. He is playing Exceed monsters, he's playing Synchro monsters, he's mixing it up.
I think that we're going to see something interesting now. I think Nanyan is going to trigger when the Juju is summoned. Nanyan is going to be a tuner, so we might see the draw 1 start as Charge Warrior and then an overlay to the new card Evalzar Lars.
Yep, he's playing Lars. That is pretty likely. But I mean, there are other options in there as well. So regarding rank 6, we could either go for M7, which was like the original most popular one. Then Wallow was released after, which is also like a really powerful rank 6. And then just lately Evalzar Lars has joined the party. So which one are we going for?
I just think that Wallow is not going to be a great combo with Chen-Chen.
True. Oh, and indeed.
Ptolemy only does something on your turn, so it's not a quick effect to bounce a card. And that's why Evolzalas is just like the perfect choice here. It's really nice to see this card have some play. I missed Evolzaz.
I was going to say, the main reason is Evolzaz are just cool.
Yeah.
Like Lagia, Dolkia, give me some of that. But I mean, now we have a rank 6, and you don't need to make it with dinosaurs, even better.
Yeah, totally. So Evolzalas there. Ooh,
Normal
seems like we have
Lulu.
not even normal summoned just yet. And we have Kranvu in the graveyard still, so we're not done just yet. And I think, are we looking for Totem Bird here, maybe as a rank 3 there?
Oh, that
it
would be-
almost seems like it.
Yes.
Indeed, here we go. Totem Bird, I like it.
And in the end phase, we are adding the Lulu back, so it just makes total sense to normal summon that one that we have in hand. Well, crazy!
Yeah.
What is this field? I did not expect that. It's really impressive. You have trap interactions as well, so you do not lose to something like a Dark Ruler no more. You are not forced to play into a triple tactics thrust immediately, which you could negate with Totem Bird as well.
Yeah.
By the way. And you have Shensha, which is a really powerful continuous effect.
Totally. I've been preaching that since the beginning of Virtual World days. It's super nice to have multi-layered fields where you have monster interactions and spell and trap card interactions. Therefore, you don't lose to Dark Ruler immediately. You don't lose to Featherdust immediately. It's good to spread it up a little between spells and traps and the monster section.
Yeah, especially now with like Thrust being one of the most popular
100%.
options to try and come back against opponents.
So guys, if you have seen the deck breakdown we showed you guys earlier, this is what we meant by 52% others.
Yep. And they are doing quite well in the tournament with both of these guys being undefeated. So there is Shenshen now, and Shenshen apparently is in Spanish because Ruben is Spanish. And Leo, do you remember the talk we had before the tournament? For some reason, I have decided that my pick for winning the tournament, nationality-wise, is going to be Spain. And there are not many Spanish players in there.
You know, most of the time when you talk, I really don't listen, but this one I remember.
I'm amazed. We're in Germany.
Yep.
You're
I am German.
There's 50% of the field is German.
Yep.
And you've decided that Spain is the pick.
I was on holidays in Barcelona for a week.
Aha, well that's enough to persuade anyone.
Oh my goodness, there's evenly matched in the battle phase, but Totem Bird right away is going to get rid of it.
Yeah, how do you explain this to your friends out? He's like, oh, I thought I was going to win, but then my evenly matched got negated by Totem Bird.
Yeah. That seems totally made up, to be honest. Your friends are going to be like, nope, bro, you don't have to find explanations there. But how good is Shenshen versus Blackwing? Oh, there is Lubellion in there too. He's playing triple Lubellion in the main deck, yeah?
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course he is.
Why would you mention that before?
Yeah. I mean, it's bestial Blackwing, by the way.
I'm a big fan of Lubellion now. Just chuck in 3 Lubellion. I don't know why you would do this in every deck, but I love it against Unchained because if they make the Griffin, it's just so funny. You just go, yeah, Lubellion, grab Druisworm and then tribute it.
We're grabbing Saronir, which is a spicy choice, honestly.
What has he got to send off of Saronir?
Well, you can send the Regained,
yeah.
And you set it with Beast if you have both in your main deck.
You have Regained, but you don't have Beast, as I'm just looking for his list.
Alright, fair enough.
So there comes...
You banish it with Small World. That's the...
I mean, makes sense. So now your bridge is valid. So we go from Saronir into Assault Synchron into, of course, I would say one of the most powerful Blackwing cards of all time. Blackwing Simoon, the Poison Wind.
Yeah, I mean, it gets Black Whirlwind.
Yeah, which is basically the best spell card of all time.
The most,
For sure, yeah.
Makes him number 2.
That's a matter of fact, absolutely is. So there comes the Simoon effect. We have to give up 1 card from our hand. Also, worth noting is that we could activate the Lubellion, send to the graveyard and resolve the effect, because Shenshen only provides a banish effect from the field, but all cards from the hand can safely go to the graveyard. Okay, it looks like we're just going to go after this right away with the Shuche. We immediately destroyed the Black Whirlwind, it seems, right?
Yep, and we still did not make Thrust or Talents live. This is really good control by Ruben of what is going to happen.
Thrust is live through the Totem Bird negate, but still no Talents, you're right. But the last still is there is an Omni negate, and it's just chilling there. Okay, let's negate the next Blackwing card that our opponent is playing. Sudri is not going to survive this.
And is Batuhan just
out of cards,
got no cards
left?
Yes,
there is no more cards left in his hand.
Oh, but he has ways
is that
to play
Chaos
around
Angel?
this.
Is that Chaos Angel?
Oh, I think those are level 9 together.
Level 9? Really?
So level 4 and level 5, right? No.
It is Chaos Angel, because I don't think he had a tuner there. And therefore, that was the only card he could really summon out.
Oh, yeah, because Simoon is level 6 and not level 5.
It absolutely is. So Chaos Angel comes onto the field here, but how much is it going to do here?
I was going to say, unfortunately, oftentimes you want to summon it with a light and a dark, so it has both effects, but this time it's only got the one.
I mean, still, we can banish like one card, and the Tcg is gone.
There's also one more card in hand, by the way, but I'm not too sure if I'm a fan of getting... I mean, you have to get rid of the Tcg, because otherwise it's just going to pop the Chaos Angel. However, the Shen is going to still be in play.
Yeah.
But what does the Shen do right now?
Not that much, honestly, but the thing is, it does one crucial thing. It provides a virtual world card on the field, so
yeah,
we can just use the effect of our Lulu in hand on the Shen, which is happening just there, so we can still continue with our virtual world plays. So I do totally agree. I mean, on the other hand, if he leaves Shen on the field, there's also if he leaves Tcg on the field, there's also a virtual world card, so he cannot really play around that at all. So
and now the Tcg is back.
Yep.
Look at this.
Welcome back. Batuhan not looking too happy about all of this, because Virtual World in 2023 really is thriving here.
Chaos Angel, well, it's only been summoned with the dark material, so that should just prevent it from being destroyed by battle, I believe, rather than also being unaffected by your opponent's card effects.
Yep, totally. And there it is gone. Tcg resolving, and that's a lot of damage on the field already. Is that game? I mean, Totem Bird is kind of small, isn't it?
1/6. It's not that
I
small.
mean, okay, it's fine.
Does it start as 1/9 and then go down to 1/6 once it's used its negate?
Oh, but this is most definitely game. Like, it's 3-1 between Lulu and the Totem Bird, then 2-8 and 2-6 from Lars.
It is indeed!
Ooh.
Virtual World with a party here, equaling the score between Batuhan and Ruben. What a game that was.
Do you think that Evalzar Lars was the thing that elevated Virtual World now?
I mean, it's a cool generic rank 6 which you can just put out onto the field. It also, funnily enough, plays around Nibiru, right? Because the deck could easily be Nibiru'd otherwise, and now that was a card that plays around
I
Nibiru.
think it negates a
I think it
card
negates
that is
part
out
of
of
the
the
true,
field,
it's only
yeah.
for on the field. Oh, okay, then never mind.
It's not that strong.
But Crystal Wing is also a card, of course, you can bring out in the combo if you decide to go for that route, and that card at least plays around Nibiru if you really consider playing around that card. Is Nibiru really that popular at the moment, though?
I think people are talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know, everyone seems to talk about it in the context of Unchained. Everyone decided, oh, it's going to beat Unchained, and then everyone else was like, no, Unchained can beat Nibiru if you play around it correctly.
And now nobody plays Unchained.
Now nobody plays Unchained.
Nobody plays Unchained,
and
nobody
no one plays Nibiru. So
and that is really good for Salomon Grade.
All stories that Leo is telling are going to end in the word Celebrate this weekend, I think. And maybe the entire story of the tournament also is going to end in that. Who knows? I honestly, with the performance earlier on we had of Salomon Grade in the featured match, I can see it. Salomon Grade looked good, but also I'm very convinced of those two duelists right here, so I could also see just having Virtual World in the finals. I would love that, honestly. It's my second favorite deck of all time. First is Striker, and then there's Virtual World.
Well, then you might be happy to hear that I have earlier on spotted a Sky Striker player who was also undefeated.
Ooh, okay, okay. Maybe we can bring him on later. Also, I was walking through the top tables before this round, so last round, and there were multiple Salomon Grade players. Yeah, you will like that. And also, I've seen quite a bit of Telemans. And yeah, definitely. At the top tables, there was a lot of that. And also, I don't think we have even showed it yet in the featured match so far. Pearly was quite a bit up there too. I mean, it's the second most represented deck, but still, it was really, really shining there for sure.
I feel like Telemans, even though it's an old deck and people have kind of been clamoring to play it, it feels very much like a breakout deck this tournament because, you know, it went from pretty much nothing to 9%, the third most represented deck of the field, which is a crazy increase.
Totally, totally. So the lack of a Rysard in the meta game is just enabling decks. I think also Virtual World did not really have that great of a time with a Rysard being around, but now it just doesn't care anymore. Now it can just freely do all the stuff it wants to do, and it's doing it very consistently, very nicely, as we just saw. But now, of course, the major question is it also going to be able to interact with the Blackwing combo of Batuhan here? Is it going to be able to also win going second? Because we saw it works very well going first, but how about the deck going second? I don't think he can afford to set 5 this time.
Yeah, you can't just bluff what you're playing. You actually have to show your opponent what you're playing and try and win the game.
Totally.
So, I think that the players are both ready, and we are even more ready. I doubt that. I think they are more ready than us. But let's go right into game 3.
But honestly, the Virtual deck, just engine-wise, has a couple of very cool tools going second. So first of all, one card I always loved with the deck is Vermilion Dragon Mech, which can actually just work through fields very good. And also then, on the other hand, as you're playing so many Exceed monsters, of course, Zeus will always be an option for you as well.
I think, by the way, that we have a really difficult hand for Batuhan.
Ooh, okay.
I think I have seen the Drusworm, Assault Synchron, Ghost Match, and other spells. And now Sarnia has to banish the
never
Rebellion
feels good. Never feels good. There comes Assault Synchron, activating the effect, paying some life points, bringing itself onto the field.
Yep, but I mean,
this is a good start, right? This is a pretty instant, you know, Baron de Fleur.
Oh, it looks like double Ghost Match in his hand there.
I mean, you can go for a Bestial Disparter route as well, and trying to tribute it for a Lubellion after that, setting up some additional cards, and then tributing, because you tributed the Disparter for Lubellion, you can just summon it back with the Assault
Synchron.
Synchron.
I like that.
But first of all, we are going to have Assault Synchron being brought back. And is Ruben going to do anything about this? I think I saw a card.
Yeah, I think I saw a card as well.
There is a card. We are not going to spoil it, but I think Ruben may have some piece of interaction there in his hand. Is it going to be used, though? Is he going to get the chance to use it, even?
Oh, and he is going for the slightly bigger combo, which is Bestial Disparter, which is not a so-called Omni-Negate.
It really isn't, and I think Ruben is already really liking the developments of this, because the card we were spotting is going to be the card that punishes people for not putting up Omni-Negates. Punishing them for going for the bigger combo route, because it is the Nibiru, and he's still waiting here. Okay, I think
this is the point where you Nibiru, after of course the Disparter was summoned.
You have to, yeah, for sure. So Assault Synchron, just double checking on the card.
What is the condition for Assault Synchron banishing itself to summon from the graveyard?
The monster has to be tributed.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah,
that's a very cool interaction. So this combo is just pretty generic, like any. Well, I guess it's exactly Lubellion plus Assault Synchron lands you this field.
Yeah, indeed. So it's tributed or banished. So either or the other thing. So also, oh, but wait, are we chaining?
That's
does not seem.
Yeah, that
correct.
It seems like was what was happening, and now the Disparter is on the field.
The thing is, could we have just negated with Disparter if...
No. You can destroy if you take your own banished monsters, but you need opponents' banished monsters to negate an effect.
Yeah.
Maybe Ruben was worried if his Nibiru got destroyed that it wouldn't tribute everything on the field, but I don't think that's correct. I think it still does.
It would have, yeah. So Batuhan is really confused by what just happened there, because sure, he lost that one card, but that was really not the main thing he wanted to accomplish there. But this Disparter is way more important, I think.
Oh, and yeah, we're going to get back this Assault Synchron, send the Drusworm, send the Nibiru.
I don't know if you want to send the Nibiru necessarily, because you have the Gozen match in hand.
Oh, that's very cool.
You can lock your opponent into lights, and then after that go crazy in the turn where you have Battle Phase, after your opponent committed at least one card.
Seems very good.
I think you would immediately flip it, actually.
Okay, so we are going for a Synchro 8 here. What is going to be the next thing we run? Do we finally go for a Blackwing card here?
Who needs Blackwing cards?
I mean,
we have Bestials, we have Assault Synchron.
He's doing pretty well with the other cards, I will agree.
What level is a Nibiru token? Is it 11?
Oh, I think so. Oh, it's Draco Berserker there. Hello. Another non-Blackwing card hitting the field. In fact, it's a Worm that has just been summoned.
And it is summoned in defense position.
So you think this is the plan, to leave the Nibiru on the field? Very heads up, Leo. Very heads up.
Yeah, but why do you then go for the Synchro summon anyways if it's just going to run over the Draco Berserk? Like, you can just not make it.
I guess. But now you have, like, kind of a safety net. Because otherwise, Ruben could have just decided to leave the Druid Swarm on the field and it would have not been really an interaction. But the Draco Berserker, if it stays on the field now, somehow still is an interaction. But there is the Gozen match. And how does Ruben like that? So Batuhan gives up the token. I think he will be fine with that. But Ruben will have to stick with the Nibiru he gave himself. And let me tell you, as a Virtual World expert, there is no main deck light Virtual World monsters, sadly.
So, and I think just the Disparter alone is such great follow-up because you have already recycled your Assault Synchron, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
He summoned it back. So then you can next turn again use Lubellion. No, you can't. It's light. You have efficiently Gozen matched yourself out of the Lubellion. But I still think he's fine.
Yeah, that's a good trade, I think.
So we are going over the Draco Berserker here. Do you think we just sided out the Brendan Regain? Because we could have just gotten Brendan Regain for free here, didn't we?
Oh, it got Nibiru.
No, it got Nibiru. It
Oh,
never had a
true.
chance.
You're right. My bad. So, do we somehow have a way to maybe get 2 banished Virtual World cards here to get rid of the Gozen match? That's probably the plan that Ruben is trying to get to if he somehow has a way to get there. But then the bad news will come to him as well that the second set card there, I think it's just the identical. Oh, okay. Never forget about the on-field effect of Virtual World Gate Xinglong, because you can just negate one opponent's monster on the field by banishing one Virtual World card from the graveyard, which just happened.
But it's just until the end of this turn. So
that is true.
It is a way to banish Virtual World cards. It's not nearly enough to use Tcg effect. And with not nearly, I mean, there's one left. But it's a start.
It is indeed.
And Disparter can also shuffle back cards from your banished pile as well, if you're not careful.
Okay, and it looks like Ruben is still sticking to the back row strategy, probably not by choice, but because Batuhan is kind of hindering from doing anything else there with the Gozen match.
Do you think there's going to be a skill drain? There's going to be a skill drain and Gozen match game. There's going to be even more.
That is not how this works.
That
That is totally not how this works. Please stop this, guys.
Oh, that was a tribute set. It was a tribute set. Okay, let's relax.
Right. Very good.
That's very heads up then by Ruben.
I was really confused by the emotions of just setting the monster and then sending the Nibiru to the graveyard.
Yeah, same. But that works. That totally works. So we got rid of the Nibiru, and Batuhan really focused on having that Nibiru on the field for Ruben. So now that we got rid of it by tribute summoning, I'm just assuming that this was either Lily or the good old Lao Lao, which are both level 6 monsters, so they would be an easy tribute set. And oh no, we just summon out the Nyan Nyan and go into end phase.
But we let it get banished, so you can...
Yeah, we are in end phase. That's why it's banished.
That's cool, though. He just wanted to banish it.
And the Disparter was still negated by Xinglong, so very well played by Ruben. However, Ruben does also, I don't really think that he has follow-up as well, so it is basically now a top deck game.
It's a top deck game, which I always love, when both players have had rough openings and now they're just sitting down there, drawing card by card, relying on those heart-of-the-card moments. And Batuhan, did he find something? No, he passes back over to Ruben, who might now, if he picks up a Virtual World monster, be in the driver's seat, but he passes it back. Oh my goodness, what's going on here?
Imagine a Shura right now. No, we are going to set another card. If this was Shura into Lily, that would have been absolutely fantastic. And then Magical Android, no, that does not work. There is Gozen match. Okay, let's go. We are in 2023.
That's Kavloon. But that is also not really developing our plays. The thing is, we are actually activating gate after gate after gate, so maybe the special effect of Kavloon at some point is going to happen, because if you have 4 or more gates on the field, you can special summon up to 4 virtual monsters with different names from your extra deck.
That is absolutely insane.
That is actually insane. Yeah, it has multiple effects depending on how many face-up gates you have, and that's now free. Okay.
Oh, those are the lines I want to see. We're using Shanwu to put the Lao Lao in defense after just banishing one Kavloon, getting closer, getting just so close to that next 2 J-Bomb. And
we are living in a virtual world. Ruben picking up another card for turn after Batuhan passed once more, and there is Volunu from the top. We have it finally.
And those are 2 wins.
They are indeed 2 wins. Oh boy.
But I mean, he's immediately grabbing his deck, and there was the... Yes, you have to activate this card first, because I saw the Ash Blossom in Batuhan's hand. You cannot just activate a card and smash it on the field and resolve it. There is a window for your opponent to respond to that.
Yeah, no matter how excited you get.
Yeah.
You think, oh, I haven't been able to play a card for ages, draw it, let's just play it right away. But no, you do have to wait. Give your opponent a second.
Absolutely. So Batuhan double reading on the Lulu, because I don't know even if Batuhan played back in the virtual world days, because this deck was very, very relevant at some point in the meta game, but it has been basically disappearing from the tournament scene, or from the highly competitive tournament scene at least, over the last couple of months.
This is going to be really crucial right now, because this is the card that you wanted to Ash. Virtual World kind of had same problems as Branded, actually. Everyone who played the deck was like, yeah, if my opponent ashes Lulu, I pretty much skip my turn most of the time.
Yep,
Most of the time.
Going to stay in the hand at least, though. Like, at least Branded Fusion is gone after you got ashed on it, but the Lulu will be there again next turn. But Batuhan finally found a monster himself! He gets to play! There is Shudri, and that's a really good pickup for him here. Shudri going to search himself out the Vata.
But can you get this Vata on the field right now? Yes, of course, you can.
So then, Vata effect. Going to Syndrome from the deck.
And now this is looking grim for Ruben. If Batuhan manages not to banish any of the virtual world cards of Ruben before getting rid of the Tcg or OTKing possibly, this is going to look crazy for Batuhan.
It really, really is. So we just go for the Sudri and for the Chinook, which would then enable him to perform a Synchro 6 summon here, I'm assuming.
Yeah, this is his first like Blackwing card.
Oh wait, it's actually the Synchro 8 instead.
Oh, and it is the ultimate rare Blackwing Dragon. So we have one Ghost Rare and one ultimate rare. I think he could need a Starlight one.
To finish his collection.
Yeah, to play free. He's banned from there on forced to play free Blackwing Dragon in his extra deck. Without any choice. Okay, so we have now a powerful monster on the field, but we need more, I'm pretty sure, because otherwise, next turn, Ruben is just going to pop off again.
Is everything Ruben wants to do just with wind monsters, though?
Nope.
The thing is, if we get to activate the Lulu and send one Xinglong to the graveyard, we get our Tcg live. Then we can destroy the Gozen match, and again, then we get hit with the bad news of a second Gozen match. But let's get to that point first of all.
The problem that Virtual World has with Gozen match is that all of the tuners are wind and all of the non-tuners are earth.
That's true, yeah. That is indeed sadly true. Okay, but there comes first of all the Twin Shadow, which just synchro summons there with the two monsters. And we are bringing out the Berea Storm once again. So what's next? Batuhan carefully looking through his deck. And the next move is going to be, yes, that's a very cool one, because you played this Blackwing outside of just Blackwing decks before, and it's Blackwing Shanga, the Waning Moon. And you have been playing this in some kind of sprite strategies because it's a level 2, but you also have been playing this in like kind of funny synchro piles in general.
This is adorable.
Yes, it is. It really is.
Yeah, normally the Blackwings are kind of more aggressive looking, I'd say. They look like they're gonna fight. But this guy, he doesn't look like he's going to fight.
Cutest little birdie.
He is in this case, though. He's really fighting for Batuhan, I can tell you that. And, okay, yeah, that's one of the less... Okay, we're not reading Shangar. We are actually just reading the full armor master that is on the field now. Understandable. Unaffected by any kind of monster or any kind of card effects in general.
It's not something that you want to necessarily read if you're picking up a foreign card.
And
okay,
now,
what does this do? Oh,
just for free, because we banished 2 from the graveyard, we are going to summon out the Black-Winged Assault Dragon. It's so nice. But it's the fact that it's just for free by banishing cards from the graveyard is just so nice. It feels so beautiful to not commit anything except cards in your graveyard to the summon of this very, very powerful card with 3,200 attack points. Like, holy moly.
Yeah, it's a lot like the Vicious Astroud we saw in the Vanadium deck. Although I'm not actually sure we saw any get summoned.
But don't forget about the Xuanwu, because you can actually put a card into defense position.
Yes, and that is going to happen. Yeah, Ruben is signalizing it. You are getting this card in defense position. So a lot of damage is prevented here. But still, Batuhan is going to take the lead here life points-wise. And with less than 10 minutes left on the clock, that is not to be disregarded. Also, we saw the handy graveyard effect of Shangar there, right? Because he destroyed the Lao with it.
Trying to go for a game here, but then realizing, oh, Shanwu has a really funny second effect.
Yep,
Actually,
okay.
it's the first effect.
Looks like we are going back to Ruben, because Ruben just used the effect of Qinglong, banishing the Lao. And now I think if there would not be the second Gozen match, that could actually be insane there. But, oh, okay, let's see when Batuhan decides to flip it.
Actually, we don't know if this is exactly a second Gozen match. We just figured that. I think we...
I think I saw it.
Oh, there is
Very
the
good.
Gamisiel. Okay, so Batuhan kind of getting punished by not activating the Gozen match right away.
Yeah, should have played around the Gamma Seal.
I mean, this does not look like a Gozen match to me.
There is the
Even though-
Lulu.
That's because it's face down, Leo.
Yeah, it will look like a Gozen match to you in just a second.
Oh, there
Never
it
mind,
is.
and there
the
it is.
second Gozen match, just giving you back the Gamisiel casually. Have fun with your Lulu on the field and try to get a non-tuner on the field now.
I think there are a couple of ways to handle it, though, because look at that. There's
Normal
Nyan
summon Nyan
Nyan.
Nyan. Okay,
and
fair
now,
enough.
hear me out. I was about to say, you might go into a Zeus line, but then I realized Zeus is light. So you can summon out the Totem Bird because it's also wind, but then from there on, you might be in a bit of a troublesome situation. On the other hand,
The Trouble Sunny
let's
situation.
go. Maybe we go for Juju, though. Juju is a
Oh.
card we might actually synchro summon out here, which is a wind monster,
Oh,
so
this
we
is
have figured out the
absolutely
solution. I think there's a way, and there is a Juju as well. So let's see how much this Juju is going to do here. Because it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, which is already nice, kind of similar to the card you just outed. And then on top of that, of course, even more important here, it is a way to get rid of the Gozen match, isn't it? Yeah, you can target one card on the field, send it to the graveyard. That's music in the ears of Ruben right now as he's staring down that Gozen match.
Yeah, also let him banish more virtual world monsters so he can potentially use the trap card again next turn as well.
Yep. Yeah, this is looking insane. He has just outed the second Gozen match. He's off to the races here. I think Ruben is just grinding into it.
And he's using Nyan Nyan now because he has banished this with the Juju effect, and now he can put back a banished card to the graveyard, I suppose.
No, to the deck.
Oh, to the deck, okay.
But still, you can even take cards you banished with desires there, which is kind of nice. There's not many cards that allow you that, but Nyan Nyan is one of them. So, Ruben kind of getting a hat here. And I mean, he will also most likely get his Chucho live again for the next turn. So, if he's doing this quickly, I think he's going very much into the right direction here.
Oh, this is all of a sudden looking really good for Ruben. We don't know what Batuhan has in his hand. He already revealed an Ash Blossom. Can you look at the deck list and tell us if there are some possible interactions right there?
Probably not, no. There's nothing I
think
could tell
the
him. There's
last-
Effect Veiler, potentially, but I don't know whether that's still in there.
Didn't he add... What's the copy of the monster on the field, the main deck monster?
Shudri?
Yeah, I think he added another Shudri to his hand.
Yeah, that's good follow-up, actually. So, but now there's Juju. GG, sorry. GG also, speaking of follow-up, and then immediately, of course, GG is also coming to the field because it's the definition of follow-up for virtual world players. And I think we modified the level of GG to level 6, and therefore we have access to a rank 6 here. And I was dreaming about Zeus early on, but I think we might be going for a Zeus line here overall then.
Oh, and Wallow is absolutely fantastic as well. You have access to so many great monsters that you could set to your side of the field.
Does it also gain 100 attack for every monster in your opponent's grave, or is it every card?
I think it's every card,
and I think all of your monsters gain the attack.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be massive.
Indeed.
The OTK machine.
Yeah, they gain attack and defense for each card in your opponent's graveyard.
So you can special summon it as well.
Yep, we go for Draco Berserker. It's
gonna
not
be
setting it, and that is a
gaming? 'Cause
lot
you
of
get the
damage.
extra attack, don't you?
Yes. Okay, okay. Wallow, we're counting. How much is that? That's a lot of attack points currently there for Ruben. And out of an impossible situation, he's really, really pulling a hat here.
Even with the Draco Berserker, that we talked about it earlier, maybe was not the most necessary summon in the game. He could have kept the Druid Swim, and now the Draco Berserker is going for the 2 attack and the attack game for a lot of damage, and it is actually game. The Draco Berserker comes back and defeats Batuhan himself.
That was such a crazy game. Ruben coming back with his virtual world strategy. We've been passing for, I don't know how long was it. It felt like 10 turns in a row where we just have been passing back and forth. And now in that one turn where he really needed it, he got to out 2 ghost matches in a row and just went on victoriously and even ended the game in the turn he started doing that. Wow.
And I love this about Yu-Gi-Oh! Because if you're playing against a rogue deck like Virtual World that you don't really know too much of, you're thinking, hey, I have the Ghost match. I have such a big advantage. I have 2 Ghost matches even, so if he manages to pop one, no worries. And all of a sudden, they summon the Juju from the extra deck that you have never ever seen in your entire life, and it's gone.
Even myself, a Virtual World lover, I forgot about the Juju, and then all of a sudden I was like, there is a Wind Synchro 6 monster, and it's Juju, which actually even is outing the Ghost match.
The problem.
Yeah, it was the perfect answer to the situation that was brought up to him, and honestly, it already was looking great by design, having 2 rogue decks facing against each other, but this match, honestly, that was one for the ages. I love that.
I was also super impressed by the play of Ruben there, the way he played around Goes match in that 3rd game. Like, the creativity of like tribute setting a monster and then using emergency teleport, not to do anything, just to banish your own monster, to get 2 monsters in the banish zone. That was really cool.
Yeah, and now there's something happening that I really, really love in tournaments. You guys can't see it, but we still have the monitor with the table top-down view. And both of these players are just sitting there and they're discussing the game. It's after the game, you're going, hey, could I have won this if I did this, this, and that? And your opponent is discussing with you, and both of you are getting better eventually.
Yeah.
Totally.
Do you like it when your opponent says yes or no? That's could I have won?
That's a good
Some opponents
question.
will just always say no. Some people will just be like, nope, no way you could possibly have won.
Yeah, because they just assume they were the better one in this situation. Yeah, no way you can even beat me, no way you can even touch me with my gameplay. But no, for real, like, as Leo is saying, it's just all about learning, and learning together obviously is easier than just learning on your own. So I think even if you lose a round in a tournament, you very obviously have to try to take the most out of it, either with your opponent or on your own then in hindsight, right? Just reconstructing how the game went down and thinking about the crucial moments of the game together with your opponent or on your own is super, super important. If you want to improve at the game, if you want to get better at the game consistently, and maybe at some point also end up in the feature match playing here at the YCS, you know?
Yeah. It's also super important, though, as well, if you're playing in a tournament, you do that for a bit, but then you stop, have a break, and get ready for the next game.
True. Yeah, you can overdo it for sure.
You can definitely overdo it, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because, I mean, those tournaments, they are long. That was round number 6. And we already have been doing a lot today, but there's still 3 more rounds to come. Like, they still have to fight for quite a while here.
Oh, and I'm so hyped for those rounds because this wasn't all the spice we had. I mean, of course, this was a crazy round. I don't think that it's going to get this spicy again
Hardly.
soon.
It's tough.
It is possible because early on we had Cyber Dark cards that weren't played, but they were in the deck.
Yeah.
And I know that now. It is confirmed. But, I mean, we still have so many more feature matches, so many more creative players, so many more cool decks. Basti was talking about his 2nd favorite deck in this round. Maybe Basti's favorite deck is also on the line later on.
And you know what? We have some crazy stuff also in the tournament. You know what we have not even seen in the tournament, in the featured match yet?
Yeah.
Unchained.
Oh, right.
Pearly. We have not seen those decks, which is crazy because they are basically the
decks to beat.
Pinnacle of the format right now. They are the decks to beat, but they have not even been present here in the feature match, which is really ridiculous.
We usually love to, at the beginning of the event, just show off all of the cool rogue decks before we get, because we know when it gets to day 2 and maybe deep into the top cut that we don't have as much leeway to pick, so we assume that we're going to start seeing all of those meta decks come up. So.
But still, usually, just by nature, like the rogue decks are going to face off against some of the meta decks at some point, but we just see rogue decks all the time right now, which is quite fun and quite enjoyable. I think, at least for us, I hope you guys at home enjoy it as well, but I would assume so, because how could you not enjoy this virtual world versus Blackwing duel we just had? That was just insanity.
Yeah, I think those games are just inspiring. Just get into your tinkering chamber with your cards, grab all of those, think, hey, in this format, which deck do I like? Which deck from back in 2010 do I want to play again?
Yeah.
See if they have new support cards. Let's go. Just build any deck, basically.
Yeah. That should be encouragement for all of you as well, right? you can top or like go 6-0 with any kind of deck. If you just make it work, if you commit to it, if you enjoy it, if you're having fun with it, and you pilot it well, as we just saw, it's possible.
I love the mixture of the old and the new as well. In the Blackwing deck, we're mixing it with the Bestial engine. Gives you access to all these different synchros and the Assault Synchron. I think it was really cool.
Yeah, and also we have talked to other players. I don't know the score of this one specific player, but there is a really spicy deck winner. You know which one I'm talking about. You know as well. It is going to be.
Oh yeah, I know.
I don't want to take it away.
I
don't want to take it away. You guys will have to see that, but I hope it's going to be on the feature patch very soon. It is an absolutely fantastic deck. It is really creative and it's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment, we're just trying to discuss whether we are going to have a winner's interview, because I think Ruben, as I said earlier, is from Spain, my nationality that I picked to win the tournament. But I don't think his English is superb, so we're trying to maybe find a translator at the moment or something. So we're just trying to figure that out at the moment, and we're just having a casual chat. I hope you're good with that, because, I mean, we're talking about the decks you love and how to improve at the game. So, Tom, we talked about many ways to improve at the game. What is your major thing that you would tell someone if I'm, for example, asking you, how can I improve at Yu-Gi-Oh?
How can you get better at Yu-Gi-Oh? I mean,
I think one thing.
I like to play. You know, I think it's great. It's great to watch.
Yeah.
And you know, it's great to watch because you can watch really high-level players, and obviously you can't just knock up on a pro player's door and say, "Hey, do you want to play with me?" Because they might be busy.
Yeah, for sure.
Or you might not know them. You know, but you know, it's good to practice yourself, to make sure you get familiar, because you can watch and it's like a classic, you know, thing. It looks really easy when you're watching. It's very easy from the commentator's booth. Feels like we could do better, but you know, I'm not sure we could.
You're very, very right. Also, a common thing is when you just watch gameplay, when you just stand right next to two top players dueling against each other, you just see their cards. You just see their cards in hand. And you don't have that as a player. You don't know which cards are in the opponent's hand. So, yeah, as you said, for us, it's easy to say, hey, you should play around that Nibiru because there's Nibiru in his hand. But, yeah, the player is like, I don't know that he has Nibiru, so how do I play against it?
Maybe the player did the math already and said, hey, there are 3 different cards I will have to play around. 2 Nibirus are already in the graveyard. I am going to play around, I don't know, Ash or Effect Veiler, and then it ends up being the lucky Nibiru in hand, and you're going to lose against that. Sometimes it's also a game of chance that doesn't really follow the rules of chance.
So yeah, sometimes math and also probability can be weird, because you will end up with the 0.5% chance that he has that one specific top deck, or that there's just one really weird thing happens. You just cannot always expect everything. You try to minimize the variance in Yu-Gi-Oh, but still, you're drawing cards from the top of your deck. Sometimes there are half of the card moments where you just get the one card you need and it turns around the entire game, and you cannot really predict that. So yeah.
So Basti, you asked me, so I should ask you, how do I get better at playing?
I think I really liked your advice, honestly, just playing. That's like really nice. But also, I think just connecting to the right people is very important. Just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh to people that make you improve. I think that's very, very, very important, and very, very something to be definitely considered, because yes, sure, you can play and try to improve to that, and you will improve until a certain point, but you need other people to show you more options to, like, above that. Like, you have to improve from some point on, because you are limited in some way, and then someone else has to show you another level to it, and I think therefore you have to connect to the right people that know all the different tools.
So I think that's why you're talking to me all the time.
Exactly, that's why I'm here with you guys.
I thought you were going to say, you know, what you really need to do to meet all of these players is come along to a YCS.
Oh, that's also great. I like that too.
Where else are you going to meet the best Yu-Gi-Oh players from Europe and around the world? We have lots of non-European players here as well.
Also, it's lots of fun. I think I have not missed one European event since 2015.
Yeah, we've been on here on the tour for a while, definitely. YCS is just so much fun.
It's magical.
Always a big family meeting, everyone hanging out together, everyone enjoying high-level competition, everyone just enjoying the talking with friends part as well, of course. It's definitely something very, very cool. But I would say, like, instead of just talking now for the entire time, I would say we either are going to be back with the winner's interview in case it happens. Otherwise, we will just be back with a quiz. So don't go anywhere because we will be back in just a couple of minutes, either with the winner's interview or with another quiz coming your way.
Thank you for your patience, guys. I am now here with the round 6 winner, Ruben, who has just taken that virtual world deck all the way to the finish. Ruben, congratulations. How do you feel?
Fine, thank you.
Good. So just to let you guys all know at home, Ruben speaks Spanish and doesn't have the best English, he's told us, so I'm going to try and speak slowly, but just in case, we have our translator Eva here, just in case we do need to translate from Spanish. So we know how game 1 and game 2 went. There was back and forth and you were one apiece. But game 3, there was a lot of interaction in game 3. So talk to us a bit about goes and match and things like that.
But normally, goes and match is not good against my deck because I can play wind or I can play air, but in this situation with no hand was really, really good. That's why I take 3-4 turn. Fortunately, my opponent didn't draw his giant, and when I draw the start, the Lulu, that's all.
And it went incredibly well. And then you had, yeah, the Yugioh and stuff was really, really exciting to see that. And then obviously the last thing you did was with Wallow. So talk to us about people who maybe don't know that card. Talk to us about Wallow and how you managed to win the game with Wallow.
Yes, I know that move because I lost in YCS Leon for that. Right. So I learned how Wallow is, and from that point I play Wallow heavily level 6 because it's amazing, and in one turn you can make 5,000 damage, 11 damage, a lot.
And he had a lot in his graveyard that gave you a lot of effect damage and stuff, so that was how you managed to attack the game.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. You played amazingly. Thank you very much for doing this interview.